If you're like me and have grandchildren, or you have children of your own that you just want to get away from all that screen time, this is something you should check out. This is by the Think Academy. It's their learning pad. They were kind enough to send it to me to try out. And as a teacher of over 20 years, I have to tell you, this has a lot of really good things that I liked about it. But there's also a few things that I think they could fix. So I'm going to give you the pros and cons of what I think about this product. So first of all, the unit itself is a nice size. It's got the big button here to start it and stop it. It does have a volume control on the side so that you can control the volume. And it comes with a bunch of cards that go into the slots when you first get it. You also have a card here that you can scan. The QR code will show you a little bit on how to use it. But the cards just slide into the bottom section there, so it's real easy for a child to use it. This particular unit is for the preschool from about age 3 up to about 4 or 5, and then they've got some other ThinkPads that are for older kids too. So it kind of grows with the kid too if you wanted to do that. The pad itself has 3 different buttons here. You've got the home button there, and when you push it once on there, it'll just let you explore and touch the different figures, and they'll tell you about them or say what it is. If you press it twice, then it's going to sing some sort of song about it. The game mode here, you've got the second one that's for games, and that's where they'll ask the child questions or have them find things and push what they find, or have them kind of work with what there is and ask them questions to work with. If you push that one twice, that does level up the game level, so it's a little more complicated things that it's asking the child to do. And then the yellow one here is a hint button, so maybe they're asking the child to look for something on the board, and if the child can't find it or it's not real clear on what they need to do, they push the hint button and it'll help try to guide them toward the item. When you turn it on, you're just going to push on this button for 2 seconds and it will come on. It does use 3 AA batteries, and it comes with the 3 batteries, so that's really nice. It already has that. It has 2 speakers, and like I said, it's real low, or you can turn it up louder than that. I've got it fairly low here right now. And the board itself, it starts out, you don't have to have a card for this part. They can push the different ones and hear it tell what the letter is, or they can push it twice and it'll sing a song about that letter. So that's really nice, so they don't have to have the cards to make it work with that. And the buttons are fairly easy to push, so it's not like you really have to work with them. Now and then you'll get one that's a little bit tricky, but for the most part, they seem to be pretty easy to push and push on them and get them to go. So the cards it comes with, like I said, they have a total of 35 cards that are double-sided. Each card has 2 things going on each side of it, and the cards have marking on the bottom. That's what goes into the slot at the bottom there to get it to recognize what the card is and to work with that one. The cards themselves are very flexible. They're kind of a laminate kind of thing, so that they're easy to clean off. If you spilled something on them, wet them, got some water or liquid on them, it's not going to damage them. They would be really hard for a child to rip them or something. They could probably be folded and creased if you're not careful, so that is a potential problem, but they're pretty sturdy and pretty durable, I would say, which is really a nice thing about that. And they've got different categories of them. The first part here is just dealing with the alphabet. They're going to show them the letters, and you've got both small letters and the capital letters, so it helps them identify the different sizes of letters and different words they go into. When they're done with one side, they can flip over and do some more on the other side, and it keeps going from there. When you're looking at the different types of cards. They've got this one, this group here. There's 10 of them here that deal with the alphabet, so the different letters on each side and different activities. And they're also unique in how they switch up the games. Not every single card is like, okay, this is the same thing over and over again with just different letters. They do just totally different things. Like here they've got kind of a path there, and here they're matching them up with some other things. So lots of different things. And then, so that's the alphabet itself is only 6 sides. All right. So it's not a whole lot on just that. They also then have some sing-alongs on some cards. So you've got some different things that relate to the alphabet that they're going to sing along with, and just, or different things like food, social life, animals, things like that. So that group of cards deals with that. They have a numbers or a math set that has 20 total sides to work with. And so you only have 4 of the sides are just dealing with recognizing the numbers and counting, things like that. So that's that group. And then they work with like sorting and comparing 2-dimensional shapes, 3-dimensional shapes, and also addition and subtraction and patterns and logic. All right. So as a math teacher of 20 years, I'm thrilled to see that they're not just dealing with, okay, let's look on how we're going to count, and let's count this, let's count that. They're going so much further with it, and the child just works their way up more and more into the different types of things they're doing. I'm going to turn this thing off. You hold it 2 seconds to turn it off also, and it tells the child, I don't have it turned up very loud here, but it tells the child, hey, don't forget to get all the different cards together and put it away. So it helps remind them of that. Another set of cards deals with phonics, learning to read. So putting the letters into different, finding, you know, E for egg and A for apple, things like that. And so they go through the alphabet there, and that's about, so they take a little bit more on those cards. Let's see. So 13 of the sides deal with different phonics, and then they've got some review of those things, and then they go into sight words and getting them to do that, and got a couple pages of that, and then actually trying to read some sentences, some small sentences, and looking at the letters and the words there and trying to help them with that. So that, again, they're working their way up through the different letters and learning how to put them together so they can go at whatever pace they need to. And then there's another 20 cards that just deal with letters and words, dealing with like words with actions and clothes and your body and home, feelings, fruits. And then they go into letter detective, where they're trying to identify what letter is going in each plot, and just so many different ways that they're doing it. Here's some with opposites and jobs, things that go, travel things, and some more just working with finding different letters and pictures and puzzles and stuff like that. So there is so much here. They've got all these different cards that go with this, which is great. Now, one thing that I think is a negative is that you've got these 35 cards, but they don't have anything. There's nothing on the unit to like store them in. It'd be nice if they had like a back pocket that you could slide them in or out or something like that. You could keep them all in the box they came in, but then you have to kind of carry that box around. So that's one thing that I thought, oh, it'd be nice if they kind of kept them all together somewhere. And you can actually even buy more cards that go up higher in ability, go into like science and things like that. But that was one negative I thought. The other negative is this big button here is great for turning it on and off. But if you're going to like put it into a backpack to take in the car, because it's great for working in the car or something on a trip, This button is kind of easy to push in a backpack accidentally, so it's always going on and off. Now, when it comes to you, they mail it with this piece in here. And so I'd probably recommend hanging on to that so that you could just stick it in there and help keep it from, because I can't turn it on with that on there. So you might want to hang on to that piece if you are buying this, just to make sure that you can just get it to kind of lock off so it doesn't come off. It doesn't have an on-off button anywhere on it to make sure it doesn't come on. So that would also have been a nice thing. So that's a negative too. So if you don't have this piece anymore, or you lost it or something, you probably could devise some sort of something to kind of stick around that button to make it work. But that's just a couple of the minor negatives that I saw about this. Other than that, this is an amazing thing, I think, for kids. Get them away from the screens and get them to really learn and do it at their pace and do it the way they want to, as they're like playing the games that tell them to find things. It's going to ask them a few questions, and if they get them right, then it levels them up and it gives them a little bit tougher ones too. So that's kind of nice. It kind of works with them on that. So if you are looking for a great thing for your kids or grandkids to help them learn at their own pace, and maybe if you're homeschooling, it could work with that, or traveling, this is something you should really check out. Go get you one. If this helped you out, please hit the like button, subscribe for more reviews, and click on the product link below. Thanks for watching.